Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I greet you in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. How are you doing? I hope this video beats you well. This is for everybody, but the consequences may not be applicable to all now, but you can actually use it to help the upcoming and most especially the young girls. Now, there is a lady in this video who is filled with tears because she, out of excitement, she got married. She followed a man, not married. She followed a man at the age of 18 who promised her paradise on earth against the counsel of her parents. Now, but she's saying that the man used what we call jazz here, that is sham, to sham her, and she followed her. I will let you watch her and listen to her story. She's in court because the whole thing has gone south, and I think with the benefit of insight now, she is filled with regret. And only that she says that she didn't follow the man with her mind intact. She was not thinking straight, that the man used something on her. Well, anyway, things like that happens, or things like that happen, but on this case I have an exception to it. But then I will come back and I will tell you what I felt or what I feel about it, and that is a story I will tell you that will also make you understand that not that I doubt such things happen. If you have lived in the West for too long, you may have forgotten that things like that happen in Africa, right? It also happens in the West, but it's just that some of us, you don't think that there is diabolism and witchcraft in the West because those are white people. So you think that because they are white, they don't have witchcraft. Well, anyway, let's not talk so much. I'd like you to listen to the young woman. At the end of her story, I will return to tell you what I think happened to her, and then tell you my own story, not my personal experience, but what truly happened to a man this time around who had this bitter experience and how the whole thing came to the fore. Happy viewing.
You are welcome to the End Time Truth Television, the channel for the lovers of truth, for the truth of the end time. So if you are a lover of truth, give us a subscription and God bless you. Shalom.
Your Honor, this case is between Stella Chioma and Matthew.
Thank you. Plaintiff Stella Chioma, just a minute. Well, I can see that your claim is against your ex-husband.
Yes.
Not being responsible towards the children. Let me hear you.
I was married to Mr. Matthew Emeka 2008 when I was still very young, and he gave me fake promises because when I was growing up, I was this kind of person that I like my education very much, and I came from a very poor background and which my parents could not further my education. He promised to take me to any level of the education I want to acquire. My parents did not buy the idea anyway. They refused him marrying me then. I was barely 18 years. And when I was living with my sister here in Lagos then, my sister had to send me back to the village because of the issue.
Which issue? The
marriage issue, that he was disturbing, he didn't let me rest, that he wants to marry me then take care of my education and everything, and none of my family accepted it. My sister have to send me back to the village. I went home. He have to come looking for me in the village again, but this time around I know the court did not really believe in jazz or spell or anything, but that was actually what he used on me that time, and he cast a spell on me that I fell in love with someone that I told him that since my parents did not accept, that he should leave me alone. I have to run away from my father's house with him back to Lagos. So when I have to sit for another WAEC, he paid for my WAEC then. Then it was WAEC was 20-something thousand. He paid for my WAEC then. I sat for WAEC so I can go for my higher institution. But along the way, this man started maltreating me. He took me like a sex slave. He did not pay my dowry, nothing. The very first time he slept with me, I was still a virgin then. I took him for my twin. They are 13 years old now.
How many children do you have?
I have 3, a twin and a girl. I took him
How old
for
are they?
the twin are 13 years old now.
And the other child?
The other one is 10 years old.
When was the last time you saw them?
They are with me. I came with them.
Look, they are here in court.
Yes.
They are underage, so they can't come.
Okay. So I took him for the twin, and when I gave birth, I actually told him that giving birth does not stop me from going to to school, that I have to further my education. He started molesting me, he beating me up. Like right now, this my left ear is deaf as a result of the slap. He slapped me. A blood gushed out of my ear, and since then I'm not able to hear. I can't hear clearly with
When
this.
did that happen? After the twins?
Yes, after the twins.
Before the other child?
Yes.
And what did you do about it?
Actually, I tried to leave.
You didn't report it?
I report
To
my father. My father was a peacemaker, and he actually told me not to make any case with him. So I reported the case to my father and his own family. His own family did not say anything about it. So I keep on bearing it because of the children. So when I took in for my last baby again, because whenever I refuse him sex, he will start beating me. He will just throw me on the bed. There is nothing like we don't have any relationship. I was just a sex slave to him. So when I managed to leave, that was 2017. I could not bear it any longer because he now threatened that he's going to kill me. That none of my family will ask him anything about it because he blocked all the relationship, all the contact of my family.
When there is threat to life, so that's threat. Go and report at the police. Pick him up. Because that's different from something different from everything you have been there. Somebody look at you and say, "I'm going to kill you."
Yes.
You don't wait until the person carries out. Do you understand me?
Yes, my lord. So it was when the threats came up that I have to run out of the house. When I was leaving the house, I carried the children, but he caught me then and he refused me taking the children along with me. So I left the children. I ran out of the house just to save my own life then. Then since then, I've been living on petty business I do to survive. But ever since then, till date, he doesn't take care of the children. The worst part of it now, he's living with the children quite all right. They come to me every holidays. He's living with them, but he does not take care of them.
Are they going to?
Yes, they are going to school, but I pay their bills. I even have the receipts of their schools.
Do they live with you permanently or with them?
They live with him. Okay. But the house where he kept, he's not even staying there with him, with the children. The house is an abandoned building.
Did you take the picture of the?
Yes, I have the video of the house.
Video?
Yes. The house is an abandoned building where no tenant is living in the house. Here's are the videos of the house.
Where's the location?
It's at Tijaniki.
The children are with you here now. How did you get to be? How did that happen? How did they end up in with?
Because he left them in an abandoned building. Every night he will go elsewhere and sleep and leave the children in the house. There was a night they called me that people.
Who called you?
The girl that is taking care of the children. There's a girl that is living with them, but the girl went to work. She couldn't come here with us. The girl called me and it was like all those bad boys, smokers. They ran into their room where they are sleeping, and their father has not been sleeping with them in the house. I was like, that was when I got offended and I went to carry the children.
When did you go for them?
That was about before Easter holiday. That was when I carried them.
Which month?
That was April.
So they've been with you since April?
Yes.
And has he reached out?
He hasn't.
Does he know the children are with you?
Yes, he knows. He knows. He doesn't want to take responsibility of the children.
Okay, that's why you are here.
Yes, that's why.
Okay, so Matthew Afamemeka.
Yes.
Right. Well, Stella Chioma Chukwemeka just narrated her own side of the story. We're waiting to hear your own side of the story because nothing is there. So I'm going to adjourn, depending when. I can't give judgment without.
Okay,
There's always two sides to the story. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So give him opportunity. Let's give some time and wait. He's going to see it. People that will see will reach out to him as well. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's see how it goes.
Okay.
All right, so without wasting so much of your time, I just want you to listen to what I think happened here. What I think happened was that the girl at 18 was so naive, and that could be the first man that had ever talked to her. And I do tell young ladies that men are evil. I'm a man too, so don't be offended if you are a man. Men are so deceptive. Men can tell you anything just to get through. They can promise you heaven on earth just to get through. And I understand that that very age, that is the very tentative age that now at this point in time, both the males and the females, that is the point of either make or break. That is the point where certain mistakes in relationship in life are made. Now, there is this thing they call first love, and sometimes that frame or that phrase first love to so many people have has become their beginning of many losses. Because that is the time that somebody can just venture into your life and deceive you. If you met somebody and that's the first person you met and the only person you have ever known ever since, you are lucky. But the thing was that what happened was that it was not charm. It was not as in that this person used witchcraft. is also possible because probably, there could be a point where her parents was talking and she was listening to her parents more, and this guy felt like, what can I do now to make this girl, at least she's the one I'm interested in? So that is possible, but I am thinking differently, that what may have happened was a kind of she being swept off her feet, off the ground by the sweet things that this person has promised her, and being that she was experiencing, maybe that was the first time a man was talking to her at that age, and probably there was this attraction that was in her heart. So it is just about that in most cases makes people like, whether my father or my mother approves of it or not, I'm going with this person. And the bad thing about it is that when the person begins to suffer in the relationship or in the so-called marriage, now they will lack the boldness to speak out at first, until when it is almost killing them. That's the time they come out. Now my counsel on this is that, we grew up and we began to be like, my mother and my father cannot tell me who to marry. Yes, it is correct. They won't tell you who to marry or who not to marry. But at the same time, when your father or your mother is having an exception over a particular thing, except you don't know that parent well, if you know them very well and you think that they, even though they may not even be religiously inclined, but they can be spiritual, and they still have this spiritual authority over you. Sometimes they say that what an elderly person saw sitting down, you as a young person, if you climb the tree, you may not see it. You can't even see it. All right. And we also say in my place that you may have more new clothes than your father, but you cannot produce more rags than your father or your mother. All right. So the experience they have had, is vital. In those days, if a young man comes around and say, this is the wife I want to marry, or a lady brings a man home, and this is a husband that wants to marry me, those parents go do background check. They do some check that are very relevant, very, very relevant. But today we just say those things don't matter again, I believe. Okay. I'm not saying that we should return completely to those days, but if they are saying wait, now listen to them and find out the reasons behind what they are telling you, why they are telling you to wait. Now you see, I'm talking to the general public now. I'm not talking to just Christians, because even Christians, how many of us still believe in the will of God? I believe that if God is leading you to a particular person, there could be opposition also from your parents. There could be opposition from people around you. They may say no. If not from your parents, it could be from the parents of the person you are intending to get married. So, but if you're so sure that it was God, that it is God that is leading you, all you need to do is do what? Wait. God will make a way. All right. But since today most people that even say they are doing the will of God are people who are lying or who are deceived by dreams. All right. So I'm generally speaking. Okay, so if yours is that you just found this person and there is an attraction, or this person found you and there is an attraction, and your parents say no, find out from them, why have they said no? Why did they say no? You see, you may be blinded to some things that they have already seen, but because you are infatuated and you think you are in love, now you need to pay attention. So if you have an 18-year-old, 20-year-old who is growing up, please show them this video. Now, so that is what I think happened to the girl. Not really that the man used jazz, but I'm not completely ruling that out. So let me tell you the story I said I would tell you. There was this man who, he was single, I was not married, but he was patronizing a brothel. And so in that brothel, he had a customer. Sometimes when you're passing by, they will tell you, customer, come now, customer. What are you buying? You're buying flesh. Customer, come now. So the man had a customer. So the customer eventually fell in love with him, or a prostitute who is living in a brothel, in a hotel. So the customer would patronize her. Somehow along the line, she fell in love with this customer. But she was like, who would marry a prostitute? But people are doing that today. People are marrying prostitutes today. And unfortunately, there are, I'm talking about commercial sex workers who, but in fact, they put the license on their face that is what they do. But that there are a lot of young girls today, even married women, who are also prostituting. The one they call hookup. So prostitution has gone a notch higher today. So, but I'm talking about the ones that she rented a room where she attends to male customers. So she fell in love with the man and went to make sham. And the condition for the sham was that she must kill a white cock for the sham every year. So she brought it. The customer came. She used it on herself. and the thing affected the customer. The customer became, he lost his mind, and before you know it, there was marriage. Now they had 6 children in 13 years. 13 years they had 6 children. So she had been faithfully committed to that responsibility of killing a white fowl for the sham every year. And she did it for 12 years. On the 13th year, she was like, I've lived with this man for too long now, so there's no need of doing this. So on the 13th year, she didn't do it. And so as that 13th year was almost rolling over, one morning like that, the man woke up from the bed and saw the woman and was like, what are you doing on my bed? And the man was like, you're my husband. We married. Said, what? Now the thing caused commotion that people ran and came inside. And they were like, oh God, this is your wife. He said, no, I met this woman in a hotel 13 years ago. And I woke up this morning and seeing her on my bed. And they were like, but these are your children. Ross, what I'm telling you is not a joke. It's not a fictitious story. It is true life story. That was how that union ended. So there is jazz. People use jazz. And that is also a lesson, actually, because sometimes we stop doing what we are doing between us and God, the fellowship we do have with God that made us different. And sometimes we become so familiar with God and we lost it. We lose, the vibe, the fire that made us unique. So go back to the altar. Go back to your altar. Now the righteous altar built with the blood of Jesus Christ in view. All right, thank you very much. That is the video. That is the long and short of the video. But what I want to say here is that if you're a young person, please don't be so independent when taking the decision of who to marry. Don't be 101% independent. That is not the business of your parents. A lot of people, have made that mistake and they are regretting it today. Like I have said, I'm not saying that you should, if your mother say, you can't marry her, I don't like her legs. No, that is not an excuse. You can't marry her, she is short. No, that is not an excuse. That is not enough. But there may be something that they have discovered. There may be something they have found. And until you engage them in dialogue and actually become neutral over things, you may not see it. Had this girl, waited a bit, she may not have fallen for the sham of the man she married. All right, thank you so much and God bless you. Let's know what you think about the video. I'm out of here. I want to ask you to please like and share the video. I'll give you your subscription if you have not done so. And if you don't mind, join the channel membership. It's like I'm offending some members of the channel. I don't know. A lot have left. At some point in time, I was having 12, 13 members, and now I have to. Please, if I have offended you, maybe with the truth, or I said something that you didn't like, you can tell me. I'm not saying this because I want you back, really, but it's always good to dialogue, to discuss, because whatever I may have said, no, but there are some of them actually who explained to me why. At least one person told me why she could not join again. So I understand that. But if you left because I've offended you, and there is this lovely sister I'm looking for, and I'm happy, please, if you're still watching this channel, I miss you. There are so many friends that I've missed. Some of them, their numbers are not going. I can't even wish them again. Please, if you are in that category, like my sister Gloria that lives in the UK and Canada, please, if you are watching me now, please, I've missed you. She was not a member of the channel, but there are so many that I'm not seeing again, and I actually miss those guys. Thank you so much, and God bless you. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Till then, from me to Shalom.